Morning guys, welcome back. For me, running is my type of meditation. I wake up, no AirPods, nothing, and just listening to my internal chatter.
The best thing about running for me is it helps me focus on the next step. And this ripples onto like every part of my life, and I focus on the next habit, right? And in the morning I like to think of it as a habit stack. I go for my run, then I have a cold shower, then I have my breakfast, then I get into 4 hours of deep work, and each one ripples onto the other.
Just finished a 4.5 mile run this morning. If you want to make a good habit and make it consistent over the time, start small. And then when you've done that habit and it becomes easy, try and add another one close by it. And then when you stack that up to each other, it makes things a lot easier to accomplish throughout the day.
So that was yesterday, Sunday. I used to do this throughout my A-levels. That's this week, and that's next week. I try and block my time into 2 chunks. So there will be an AM block and there will be a PM block. And during this time, I find it really important to be alone and have 0 distractions. So monastic deep work has been really useful for me to like really focus on depth and have no distractions. But over the holiday, I'm gonna have to rely on like journalistic deep work. So when there's like an hour opportunity where I can do some work throughout the day, I'll just go and disappear and then come back when I can. Right, I've just finished 4 hours of deep work. I quite like to batch review my Anki flashcards. Something fun today is that I tried out using this little controller whilst reviewing flashcards, which made it a bit more fun and enjoyable. I don't know, just making anything and using anything to make studying and doing the boring things a bit more enjoyable and gamifying your life. That's why I use an Apple Watch for like tracking my workouts, because it helps me gamify it and kind of see a scoreboard. And like whenever I see a scoreboard and we start like keeping track of the score, when I used to play basketball or like during rugby and stuff, it just becomes a lot more competitive. And if you're a competitive person like I am, using that to your advantage, I think it's really important to know your type of personality and making sure that you're taking control of it. So I've got a very addictive personality, which is, I think, is actually a really good strength, because it means that I can sit down and study for like 4 hours and get addicted and curious on things that I want to do. That's why I have to be very meticulous and intentional with my day, with the tasks that I'm doing, and also with the things that I'm not doing. What I did in the 4 hour block was a operations management module and there was this process called lean improvement cycle, where you look at your system and you try and remove things that are toxic and excess things that you don't really need, right? And that's in a system, a engineering system, but you can actually apply that to your life. And I think it's really important to become a bit more lean and remove the things that aren't important so that you can focus on the things that are. So what we've got here is coffee, chicken thighs and rice, and then I give the bones from the chicken thighs to this boy. Do it. No. Just a quick tip with Anki is that when you go to review your flashcards in the evening, everything's white, right? So you can just go here, and I just press classic invert, and it just inverts it, so it makes it like jet black. So when I'm reviewing it in the evening, it's a bit easier on my eyes. And the cool thing about OLED is that the pixels are actually like turned completely off. Over the years of trying to build good habits, The biggest lesson I've learned is to make the hard things easy. So when I work out at the moment, I just have 3 very simple exercises that I can do almost from anywhere around the world. This thing called horse dances, which is like a exercise that the monks used to build conditioning and endurance, and it's so difficult. Honestly, it's like the most painful thing, but it's really satisfying. And then I just do 3 hard sets of each to failure, and that takes me like normally 10 to 20 minutes. It's really quick. I like to read philosophy before bed because it helps switch my brain off from like right now to realize that time is finite. My time here is not going to last forever, but the ideas from philosophers like Seneca and Marcus Aurelius and Plato will, and they have lasted forever.
Because for me, studying is my job, and it always will be. Even when I get work as an engineer, I always want to be learning. I always want to be improving. And for me, that's where the biggest fulfillment and joy comes from in my life, is learning and growing and growth. And whatever you're doing out there, you do you and keep growing. And I love you all, and I hope you all have a beautiful rest of your week, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.